so many videos about motivation, be the person you want to be, but nothing happens. We just internally have that dopamine hit, but really nothing manifests in our life. That's such a danger and a reality of the world at the moment.
And I have this awareness in myself that when I'm doom scrolling, what is it that I'm avoiding? Because there's always something.
That validation on social media is so cheap because it's so easy to post something, and it's also so easy to press like.
It's almost like we're living in a world that isn't real anyway. And then there's this other world on top of that world. It's like a Maya in a Maya in a Maya.
Before we jump into this episode, I'd love to invite you to join this candid spiritual community to hear more conversations that will help you become happier, healthier, and more healed. All I want you to do is click on that subscribe button because I love your support. I love seeing all the comments pouring through, all the love pouring through, and we're just getting started. I can't wait to go on this journey with you, whether you're a spiritual seeker or you're just curious about the topic. And we really hope that our conversations will provide you food for thought and inspiration for your own spiritual journey. So join us for honest, candid discussions about spirituality for soul's sake.
Hello and welcome back to a long-awaited and one of my favorite types of episodes, a round table episode with two of my closest friends. We've got Nāma on this side and Stine on this side. They are dear friends of mine that have agreed to go through the exploratory process of Bhakti wisdom through this format of podcast, and I'm very grateful to be serving with them. We've been away for a little while.
Yeah.
Been away. I've been to India.
I have been in London. In the wet, windy, cold.
It's not that. Okay, it's bad.
You've been in India, man.
Yeah.
You can't talk.
I was in India too, so I can't talk either.
Any reflections, anything, any highlights? What can we share?
I feel like every time I come back from Vrindavan, it's this realization that I live here and spirituality is something that I'm desperately trying to fit into my really busy life. And then I go to Vrindavan and I have this realization that spirituality is life. And everything else should fit into that, not the other way around.
Yeah, Krishna in the center.
Mm-hmm. But it's hard. And then you come back and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It feels like, in my mind anyway, it feels like I want that life. But then I also, if I'm in Vrindavan for too long, I also go, I don't know if I'm really ready to surrender to this lifestyle also. It's interesting that it's like I know I want it and I know I need it, but not all at once. Like it needs to come. And I think that's a part of spiritual maturity and maturing in spiritual practices. Leaning in when there's a space to lean into it, and then also going, I'm yearning for it as well. Like it's not yet fully like everything in my life. Krishna's, I want him to be the center, but I also am not fully ready to make him the center of everything.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Or does that sound really stupid?
You kind of like, both feet aren't in the same boat yet fully.
Yeah.
It's almost like 2 feet could look like they're in the same boat, but you're looking away. You're looking at the other boat, and it's just like, how ready are we to fully immerse ourselves in that spiritual reality that we read about and hear about and we observe in India and Vrindavan? It's like, it's a challenge, isn't it? Like desire. To have desire is such a challenge.
It feels so good at the same time.
I think it's also a control thing for me that I'm not ready to let go of the control.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Interesting that. But we're back. So welcome back to another Roundtable episode. Today's topic is one which is highly interesting, and I think that many of you will find very relevant, and one which is going to probably create more questions than answers. So here we go. Today we're talking about social media, comparison, and the Bhakti path. And the context is that in the world that we live in today, we've got creators of all different types. We've got, of course, content creators, but creators of an artistic nature. For example, that those two worlds are colliding right now with Curating, music, sound, and Bhakti, and that's also now being integrated into the social media world. We've got yoga teachers, which have been doing this for perhaps a longer period of time, being in front of camera and shooting content. And I think the question here is how a devotee, how a Bhakti yogi can navigate visibility, can navigate ego false ego, thinking that we're the doer, navigating comparison, and all while trying to remain authentic. So this is a huge topic, and we've kind of framed it around the Bhagavad Gita, and we've got a verse I think I want to ask Stine to read today. It's from the 9th chapter, text number
1.
Awesome.
Let me just find it. So, I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you the most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence."
Reflections, thoughts off the bat?
Well, so I think for me, this is such a significant verse. So the whole chapter 9, is called the most confidential knowledge. And essentially what Krishna is saying is, Arjuna, I'm going to tell you what this most confidential knowledge is because you're not envious. And this is so crucial. This is this state of mind or the state of the heart of a Bhakti yogi that is ready to receive the most confidential knowledge. Is a heart that is free from envy. And I think in the social media context, it's very easy to slip into comparison, to feeling a bit inadequate, to feel a bit jealous, a bit envious of what other people are doing in this sort of strange, it's almost like we're living in a world that isn't real anyway. And then there's this other world on top of that world. It's like a Maya in a Maya in a Maya.
I'm imagining those Russian puppet.
Yeah, exactly.
Maya within a Maya within a Maya.
And everybody's presenting themselves with these perfect lives. And it's like, it's very curated. And so I think it's easy in that context to be almost envious of something that may even not be real. But in any event, I think for me, this verse really sort of speaks to this. What is actually a heart that is free from envy? Do we then receive that in the heart, or is it with the intellect? And obviously the answer is that it's something that it's a state of heart.
It's with our heart, yeah. It's interesting because it's almost like the social media world is actually very useful, and it's been amazing for sharing knowledge and sharing education. But all of that exposure is actually so inorganic to the human being. We're not actually supposed to see everyone's victories. We're not actually supposed to see that amount of information overload. What that does to your mind, no wonder people are comparing themselves to other people winning, reaching milestones, achieving the perfect timeline of life. But everyone's on their own time frame, right?
So attractive though, isn't it?
I think, Stine, you told me this the other day. I think I messaged you and I said, there's a lot more established coaches in the world than me. And I'm not just there yet. And Stine said something really powerful to me. And she said, you are exactly where you're meant to be right now.
Wow.
This is my timeline and it's got its own trajectory. I'm not living someone else's timeline. And that's such a powerful thing. To be present in a world of information overload and social media, no wonder people compare themselves.
Yeah.
That's the only input we're getting. I'm pretty sure back in the 1940s, rural villages, people they just knew what was around them, which was 100 meters down the road. That was it. That was their reality. And their circle of influence is so much smaller.
True.
Now it's the whole world, basically, right? However big your following is, that's it. It's mad.
Curated success is so attractive though, isn't it? It pumps our endorphins into overdrive. It makes us, it's interesting, it's almost as though the modern person thrives off the feeling of inadequacy so that they feel they need to contribute and hustle and do something. Is there some sort of psychological thing going on there?
Yeah.
That we like feeling inadequate? Is that a thing?
Yes, but I also think that, so I was just thinking, Maya Angelou, the American poet, she has a really beautiful quote where she said, everybody marvels at the beauty of the butterfly, but no one wants to know about the pain that it went through to get that beautiful. I think I butchered it slightly.
No, but the essence is there.
And I think that it speaks to this, that it's we do like marveling in the perfection, because no one wants to sit in the discomfort of messiness and being a human being is essentially just a bit of a messy existence. Like, it is just messy, this process. But when we present it like most people do on social media, that's very attractive, because we don't have to sit with all the darkness, all the discomfort, all the
it just reminds us of ourselves, right? Like, it's almost like a cruel reminder. When you see messiness, like, oh yeah, that's a bit of me. I don't want to see that. I want to see what could be. No one wants to join the person who's on the rise, who's going through the messiness. But they'll wait until they've succeeded. Okay, yeah, now I'm your friend.
Now I'll celebrate.
Now I'll celebrate. Now we'll commend you. But what about all the 50 years of hard, dedicated work it took, and grit, and failure, and demoralization?
As an honorary social mediaite, if I can call myself that, I think it's really been interesting, the kind of exactly what you said, that the fan following has increased with the visibility of grand gatherings of people in Curating, and people want to see success and they want to see that thrive. And what's been really helpful for me is to compartmentalize that as a role and not me as a human being. So like, people who are on my channel, and you're here probably because you are subscribed to my YouTube and Instagram, it's coming to the realization that that's only this much of me. And for me as a human being, it's, even though that sounds really obvious, when you're in that and you've got that fan following, you have to just compartmentalize it as that's a role, that's a service, but that's not fully me. Like, I'm so much more. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a foodie. There's so much more than just the Curating realm. But at the same time, not to minimize it and say that that's disgusting. I see it as the Yukta Vairagya principle, that I'm seeing that's an opportunity for me to amplify a message that can change. And I think we could take this in one of two ways, but I think what would be interesting to hear from both of you is, if you're a content creator that isn't someone that's trying to amplify a Kirtan message or a spiritual message, one, what do you advise people to use social media? And the second question is, if you are a yoga teacher and you are a Kirtan lover and you want to amplify the message, what will be your way to do that in the most authentic and sincere way possible? So I don't know if those two were clear. So if you're not someone that's amplifying a message, would you advise them to stay away from social media? But the chances are you are someone that loves Bhakti, and therefore you're listening to this conversation. So what is the authentic way to do that? Or what is the sincere way to do that? What would be your advice to someone that's going to do that?
I'm actually going to give some advice that Nāma gave me.
I love that.
Some years ago. Yeah,
I
exactly. And it was because I was asking for business advice in a spiritual context. Okay. And Nāma said, just sit with this, sit with it. Sit with whenever you have to make a decision and really be with it, and then ask yourself, why am I doing this? And I think it is just such good advice, because when we go inward and we're going, what is my motivation? Like, why do I want to post on social media? Is it for the external validation? And if that's the case, then I don't think people should go on social media and post anything at all. But if it's because there's something in my heart that I really want to share, that I think will make the world a better place or serve a higher purpose, then yes, absolutely you should share it.
The algorithm won't work to purify you. So realize that the algo is not there to purify you. But if it's done for a sincere motive to try and serve divinity, serve a spiritual purpose, or like, even if it's to uplift, maybe it won't be on the spiritual platform, but to bring people to the mode of sattva, goodness, or like realizing habits that's going to heal them from trauma or from pain, then yeah, sure, like, engage with it and do it sincerely. Okay, that's interesting. So sit with it, and why am I doing this? What's
my motivation?
What's the motivation?
And also, if that motivation has anything to do with external validation, I think we need to be really careful. Because, and in general, not just in the social media context, but in general on our spiritual path.
Yeah, that validation on social media is so cheap, because it's so easy to post something, and it's also so easy to press like and comment something. Like, it's very easy for the creator to feel like, oh, really good about themselves.
Yeah.
But how many people are actually coming up to you and giving their praise or being grateful for, your contribution or whatever, the proportions are very minimal, right? It's like, when you look at the music industry back in the day, it's like
Radhika's like, no, I get this all the time.
I don't know how to be devil's advocate here, because people are kind.
people are to their kind, darling. And for best-selling artists back in the day, you would have to sell a number of records, so physical records, and that would qualify someone to be a best-selling artist or not.
Yeah.
These days, no one buys physical records. You just have it on Spotify, and you look at streams, number of streams. But streams are free. You just pay for a Spotify or whatever, your Apple Music subscription.
Mm-hmm.
So to go out there and spend your hard-earned money on something or to choose someone was a lot more of an accomplishment than the digital era now. Same goes with social media, right? But there's this, in China, they've got this really interesting thing that the algorithms in China only for kids, it only pushes really positive content.
Is that real?
So like stuff about their education, performance, learning, good habits. So all they consume is just really healthy content. And I think that's great because we're not getting away from social media. It's going to be there for the next 5,000 years. Who knows, right?
Well, you had that prediction here first.
There you go. You heard it here first. But there's also this putting themselves out there. There's actually a trend amongst like Gen Alpha and Gen Z is the no post profile.
What?
So there's a new thing called the no post profile.
You heard about this?
People have
all right.
profiles, no picture, and they don't post. They consume content, but they just don't post.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like people have put themselves out there so much. And one of the reasons was that they feel content now is more inauthentic than it's ever been. And the algorithm now pushes more authentic content because people want genuine experience. They want failure. They want to see reality.
Yeah.
I followed someone recently and they basically just gave up smoking weed.
Okay.
Right? And they're following their day journey. And it's just raw. iPhone, this is day one, me, giving up weed. And they follow each day. And it's got a huge amount of views, likes, because people just a genuine guy out there just really trying to better himself. That's beautiful content.
It's very relatable.
Super relatable. And he's showing him in the darkest moments of his life, like a really difficult withdrawal.
Follow this guy who's 5 days, he's not shaving his head until he's done 5 days where Man United win 5 games in a row. So I'm like, this is great content. Day 546 of not shaving my head until Man United win 5 games in a row.
Yeah.
Not relevant, but just thought I'd throw it in there.
I think it's a great way to see. It's you though, isn't it? Yeah. It's a great way to seek support when you're not getting the support from the people around you. I think that's an interesting way to look at it sometimes.
I think that we need to, like, one thing that I've recently discovered on Instagram is the not interested button. And I've really tried to curate my my feed really heavily because I just really was getting into a bad habit of, they call it doom scrolling. You just scroll and scroll, especially when it was at night time.
Don't worry, we all do it.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
So I would like lie in bed and just scroll and scroll and scroll until I was tired. And I found that was really like affecting my sleep, affecting my consciousness, my dreams, my mood swings. Everything was getting affected by what I was scrolling, what I was consuming. And it sounds so obvious, but it takes a lot of strength to just click the not interested button. I didn't realize how much strength it took because when you actually have to consciously click the 3 dots and click not interested, you have to consciously basically say, I don't want that. And the algo's not going to do it for you. It's just going to constantly, like, I'm right now in home renovation mode. My head's really thinking about that. And so all I'm getting right now is stuff about that. But until I click not interested, then it won't stop appearing. And it's almost in olden times, prior to social media, you had to choose what you consumed. Like on TV, you consciously made a choice for the channel. Prior to that, it was you choose your magazine, whether it's left wing, right wing, liberal, whatever tabloid that you're reading. You chose the content. Now that choice is getting diluted, and so
You also couldn't rewatch stuff
you couldn't rewatch stuff
unless you recorded it on a VHS.
Yeah, remember that? I recorded Batman.
But it's really interesting, I think, this in the context of spiritual practice because we're consuming it. And we speak a lot in Bhakti about the association you have being so important. And so, for example, it's like if all your friends eat meat and you go out, and I heard a story about somebody who had ended up being served meat because everybody else at the table, and then so she accidentally ate meat and she was really upset. But that this is such a good example of somebody where had all her friends been vegetarian, that wouldn't have happened. Like, and it's just, it feels extreme, but actually it's not. But then I also think that with the social media experience, that is another way in which we are choosing, or we can choose, like, what am I consuming? Because that does affect my state of consciousness. I actually personally, I went through my Instagram some years ago, and I literally either muted or unfollowed every single account that was either making me feel, how I framed it back then was, if it makes me feel not good enough, or it's just a waste of time, then I'm unfollowing and muting. And it was just suddenly my social media experience became almost like a positive one. And it was like lots of dog videos, and, you know, it's still a waste of time, but at least it was.
Dog videos are always good.
Yeah, and never a waste of time. But yeah.
It's like the Gita, right? So like just the point you were saying there, like consuming knowledge strengthens the intelligence. Like the whole metaphor around Krishna, Arjun, and the chariot. So the chariot is our body. The reins are intelligence. We're essentially the driver as the soul. And the horses are the senses. So social media content is deciding whether the horses get pulled back or not. It's telling the mind yes or no. It is driving our mind's decisions, right? And we think, oh, it's harmless, a bit of doom scrolling, just watching brain rot content. But actually it's affecting your intelligence, and therefore your ability to say yes or no for your senses. Like when you are tempted by something which you shouldn't be, hey, it's totally skewing that decision.
And it's literally been designed to make us addicted to it.
Completely, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, they say it's like, if there's no product, you are the product. So like if you are...
Wow.
Like,
if there's no product, you are the product. That's scary.
it is, exactly. Yeah, super scary.
I'm a big fan of like encouraging people to do like digital detoxes, like serious digital detoxes. Just
That's a practical takeaway for you.
Yeah. No, honestly, like why don't we do that every couple of months? Just do a couple of days, just no phone, no laptop, nothing. And there's these places, resorts you can go to, which is just purely designed for that. You stay in a hut, there's some sheep, and play some board games and connect and journal and reflect and read and meditate, do some Curating, go on walks. Like that's so healing for the mind, I think.
Going back to like what you said about the doom scrolling, I have also, I mean, we all do it, right? Because these apps have been designed to make us addicted to it, and it works. And I sometimes, I would also lie in bed, and then I would get this reflection of this like corpse looking back at me. I'm like, oh my God, I need to put it away.
Oh, you mean your own face?
My own reflection.
The funniest thing is, if you do that, just scroll through Instagram, whatever, then just go to the camera app and do the front camera, and you see your face. I'm like,
yeah, but sometimes I get the reflection and I'm like in the moonlight. But anyway, but actually, you know what I've just bought? This little device that's called a brick.
I've heard about this.
And
what's that?
So I have installed one at home and one in my personal studio where I go to make my own work. And this little grey device, you tap your phone on it and it literally locks every single app on your phone. You can set it to what apps that it closes. But for me, it closes social media, my emails, my WhatsApp, and then people can only call me. So then my team know if they need me during those hours when I'm at my studio or whatever, they have to call me. Otherwise, I'm bricked and I can't be contacted.
Wow, that's cool.
And it's actually working. It's and then it tells you for how many hours you've been bricked each day. And so I'm getting my life back.
Oh,
Hey.
Yeah. That's amazing.
But I really recommend something like that. And I think this fact that I have to physically go and tap it on it, because you could, of course, just close down all these apps, but are we going to do that?
yeah.
No.
No.
There's another thing I'm thinking. Like one is that like we do the not interested brick thing, or all right, hear me out. You sit with that which you're attracted by. So, okay, if you're with me, try it out. If you want, you can pause this video and do it right now. If you're driving, please don't pause. Please continue driving. But take a pen and paper and maybe even just start writing down all the things that you are very attracted by on your social media platforms right now. and just sit with that for some time. Like you were saying, what Nāma said to you, just sit with that for some time and reflect on what attracts you to those things. And it might start to be a mirror for you. Like, without you knowing it, social media might actually be serving you in some way to show you that which you need to overcome, or that which you're attracted by, that which you're lusting over, that which you're envious over, that which is then becoming the wall in the heart that you need to tear down for love to reappear, for attraction towards Krishna to manifest, like the verse spoke about. So maybe instead of running from it, think about what it is that it's saying about your heart and what it is saying about what your desires are. What do you think?
I like this. I think for me, so I used to definitely not have a healthy relationship to alcohol. And the realization I had when I stopped drinking was that I was using alcohol to numb out. So I was using it
To numb
to
out.
numb
Yeah.
to not have to be with myself and the reality of my life. And I think I catch myself using social media in the same way these days. And we're talking of, this is the essence of addiction, right? And so I think a lot of us are using social media in that way. It's like an escape. It's we're scrolling almost to numb out. Well, actually to numb out, I think, for many of us. It's a really, really good question, this sort of, why am I doing this? What is it that I'm getting from it? And I have this awareness in myself that when I'm doom scrolling, I go like, oh, what is it that I don't want to feel? Or what's the boundary I need to set in my life? Or what is it that I'm avoiding? Because it's always something when I don't want to be with the reality of what is, and I'm escaping.
You reminded me of something as well, Stine, just on when you're saying that, is people are more often than not mentally masturbating when they are going through content. What I mean by that, sorry for the term.
I mean, I'm still intrigued by the term.
I can't wait to
What
what's
I mean
Yeah.
by that is,
Dot,
I'm
dot.
pretty sure I read this.
This is going to be the clip, isn't it, that they're going to show on Instagram?
It's gonna be the hook of
Title.
the video. We get absorbed looking at all of this content, perhaps of where we want to be, scrolling, yeah, but nothing happens. Right? So many videos about motivation, business, be the person you want to be, blah, 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 but nothing happens. We just internally have that dopamine hit, but really nothing manifests in our life. That's such a danger and a reality of the world at the moment.
Holy crap.
Like I find myself sometimes watching content about people who have like outdoor adventures. I love the outdoors, and I'm like, oh yeah, wicked. Like this guy's riding a bike on a mountain, or this person's doing this, or they're going on this really cool like Himalayan walk, and I'm like, yeah. Have I done anything like that? No.
But you feel like you have just by watching it.
Yeah, I feel like I have, and I feel like I want to, but I haven't actioned anything. So it's so easy to feel like it's so easy to trick your mind into feeling like it's fulfilling a desire without really fulfilling it, purely through watching someone else fulfill your desire.
Wait, hold on. Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Totally bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we
But
never
then what if, okay. What if you're satisfying your desire, and therefore a spiritualist could argue, well, you've satisfied the desire, innit? So you've overcome the desire.
You think you've satisfied a desire. You never really satisfied it because the hunger's still there. That's why you keep going back for more and more.
No, but hang on. If I watch enough reels about Dubai,
Yeah.
maybe I'll feel less like I want to go there.
But I think maybe you need to go to the root of like, why do you have a desire to go to, and that we need to address the desires as a problem, not.
But the experience is
I'm trying to be relative.
You're a bad devil's advocate, man. Like the devil ain't taking you in. He's kicking you out. He's like, forget this guy. He's useless.
I'm trying to be relatable. I'm trying to hear what the person on the other side of the screen is saying. Drop some comments below so we know what you're thinking, by the way. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you're thinking about this topic.
Yeah, I'm also trying to enter that mind. And maybe we're just not extreme consumers ourselves. Like there's a whole populace of people who just like, they just love content. And they're just watching content all day. That's like their life.
Yeah.
And it's like, perhaps we're the generation that we never grew up with this, so it was kind of, slightly inorganic for us. But some people just fall into that world so much that is their reality. And there is no life really outside of that.
Do you mean creating or consuming the content?
There's no life outside of consuming.
Consuming.
Yeah. And that's why like now IRL, right? In real life, events and things are like
It's a whole trend.
It's a whole trend.
Yeah, apparently also with dating apps, people are giving up on them and now
Really?
going to in real life events instead. Yeah, it's apparently a whole thing.
Let's do some soul seeds, some takeaways from today. I want to hear from both of you about what you think people... It's a whole new section we're adding here. Soul seeds is your opportunity to take experts, mentors from this platform, their advice, their kind of coping mechanisms, or their words of wisdom. Soul seeds. We're going to put a nice... Here we go. Ling.
I think maybe for me it's the this sort of notion of not seeking external validation, that you can do social media, but it shouldn't come from a place of wanting external validation. It should come from a genuine desire to share whatever it is you want to share.
For me, it would be when it comes to this point of comparison and timelines, that just have faith that Krishna in the Gita is saying that he is time. He's the controller of time and he decides when things happen to whom. And so when we get into this flux of, oh my God, this person's here, this person's achieved this person's whatever it may be, you are on your own timeline and Krishna is governing that timeline. So just trust in your path, your time, your reality, not everyone else's. I think that would be my takeaway.
Beautiful. I've got nothing really much to add apart from please sit with those two messages. Please contemplate them. Please apply them. Please find a way in which you can curate your experience of this digital world, whether that's as a creator or as a consumer. And you're probably at the end of this conversation because you genuinely want to see a change in the way that you either receive or are putting content out. Do it sincerely. If you are a creator, do it with purpose, do it with a sense of a desire to want to please God and your spiritual teachers and lineage through it. And as a consumer, curate the experience as best you can and sit with some of the things that we spoke about in this conversation. Use it as a platform, use it as information, use it as a point of transformation in your experience with the digital world and social media. And we're here to serve you. If there's any questions below or if there's anything that you want to hear further on, then please let us know in the comment section. Please share this conversation far and wide so more people can be part of it, that can benefit from what we're sharing here. Bhakti wisdom that's trying to be relevant and accessible. And we thank you very much for your time hearing this episode of For Soul's Sake. See you on the next one. Hari Bol.
If you love this episode, you'll love my interview with Keshava Swami on serving others and how our life gets ironed out in the process. Go check it out.
When I have managed to find that selflessness, that sense of it's really not about me, but I'm really here as a servant to give, then I found two things happen. The first thing is that our ability to actually really serve others just expands exponentially.